unless we have somebody who can, you know, put in a big finish that final 2 kilometers. But again, with the run up to the finish, if they take 10-15 seconds at the final corner, so hard to hold on.
Watch out for Fabian. Watch out for Fabian Cancellara. Which of these men is going to throw in a curveball now? Who is going to come around the front and have a go? Johan Alfredo, look here. He's moving his way back towards the front. Watch him. He's going to attack again. I'm sure of it. Alfredo. Romain Feuille moving, switching from side to side. So many men here. Carlos Barredo on the far left-hand side, bringing Oscar Freire up. Bernati in the white glasses for Italy. Right at the back of that train. They've done a magnificent job, Sean, of just suddenly coming to the front at the right time.
Well, of course, they have been getting an easier ride because they've been sitting in there, so they can, you know, spare their men for the very end, and that's what they've been doing. As we see the Spanish as well, Barredo trying to move up with Freire.
And that's Rohat as well up there towards the front, I think. No, maybe not. GB still have 1, 2, 3 men here to the fore. Goran Stangeli is the Slovenian still up there. Cook and Rogers. Chris Sutton is in there. Heinrich Hausler's up there. Borut Bozic in the front group as well. They're all here. Elia Viviani has a good outside bet.
And we see Bradley Wiggins.
Yep.
It's finished for him, and not surprising at all. He's been doing an enormous amount of work.
Stannard Thomas on the right-hand side, and look at the Australians taking it up on the left-hand side of this shot now. They have the lead-out train. Goss is at the back.
See Cavendish getting pushed out by an Australian there, just in the bottom of our screen.
Pushing his way through. He's got Johan Alfredo on his left-hand shoulder. He's going to have to fight to get back towards the front a little bit. Australia are really drilling this one now, but as you feared, Sean, it could be the fact that Team GB have used everything in the tank to try and keep their man Mark Cavendish in a good position.
Yes, and we can see Stannard, is it there, that is keeping Mark Cavendish in the tail end of the train of the Australians. And
he's fighting with Barredo there, look. He's giving him a right push.
Well, a lot of people fighting for the end of that Australian train, because they can see 4 riders leading out here for the Australians.
Fabian Cancellara is in here too. At the moment, it's Australia who are setting the pace at the front. Coming into the very final stages of this magnificent road race here. Now there's nerves everywhere, people looking all over the place. Is anybody going to spring a surprise? Is Tyler Farrar being brought to the front? Slots in front of Borut Bozic, and Mark Cavendish is having difficulty finding the space to get through this one, Sean.
Yes, a lot of movement, of course, with the Australians setting the pace. We can see the Germans taking over here. The pace not really high, and a lot of riders coming over the top, and we can see a lot of riders getting boxed in for the moment.
2 kilometers to go, and Danilo Hondo of Germany is on the front. Daniele Bernati is in second spot. He may not want to be there at the moment. Marcel Seberg is third. There's a lot of fighting going on in this peloton for people to be in the right place. Cancellara is sitting in the middle of the group. Nothing, no attack from him yet. Seberg is at the front. I'm struggling to see actually where Greipel is here. There's so much movement. And Andre Greipel on the outside now, just forcing his way through towards the front. Look at the Spanish now trying to set it up as well. Oh, Stannard's done a magnificent job. Look at the way he's forced his way through there on the barrier side here. And Cavendish is sitting a little bit far back at the moment, and it's going to get very tight on the barrier. Very, very tight indeed. This is super nervous. Geraint Thomas looks over his shoulder to see where Cavendish is, and he's sitting behind the Australians at the moment into the final corner. Is he too far back? He almost collides with the Italian. He's going to come a long way around at the moment. Off Pil Stannard. It's Matt Hayman at the moment of Australia. Setting this up, Heinrich Hausler on the outside. Cavendish is about 10 back.
Lars Bohm sitting down in a very good position at the moment, in about sixth position.
Lars Bohm, Borut Bozic, I think, is the Slovenian in the mix here. Heinrich Hausler in an excellent position. They're all looking around to see where Matt Goss is, who's going to go on the left-hand side. Is he? He's behind Heinrich Hausler, Goss, and now Cavendish moving his way through, if he possibly can. He's behind Lars Bohm. Oh, it's so close. They're super tight. Heinrich Hausler drives. He's going for the line now. Look on the left-hand side of your screen. That's where it's at. Cavendish has made his way through. Oh, he's done it. Cavendish has done it. He's going to be the world champion. Oh, it's yes. Mark Cavendish is the world champion. Oh, Mark Cavendish is the world champion. Oh, Matt Goss hangs his head. Andre Greipel. The anger flying through it. Cavendish made it through that. It was so tight. His old roommate and friend, Matt Bramier, now riding for Ireland, congratulates him. There'll be nobody happier than Bramier for this man here. The rest of the GB squad did a magnificent job. Ian Stannard, unbelievable. Ian Stannard should have been a boxer. He's pushed his way right the way through with this man. And Geraint Thomas on the wheel as well. He didn't panic, he didn't panic, he didn't panic. Even when he was 10 or 12 back, Sean, he didn't panic. He just managed to squeeze through.
Yes, he just kept Cavendish there in the position where he needed to be, and made the move at the right time before they came to that final corner. Although Cavendish looked a bit further off, and you know, Cavendish, as we've said so many times, even though without a big train, he can still, you know, position himself so well, and that was magnificent positioning there today.
Oh, big hug from Luc de Wilde. The Soigne. There's Philippe Gilbert. My word, what a sprint, Sean. That was a sprint and a half in the end. Cavendish ahead of Goss, who's given this the same time photo finish for Fabian Cancellara. Look on the left-hand side of your shot, just outside of the ring. Look at the way Cavendish came up on the inside. He looks across to see where Goss is. Cancellara wasn't that far off either. Goss comes at him, and just too short for Matt Goss. He was gaining ground on him, but he had to come from behind. That was a terrific ride by Team GB, and Mark Cavendish is the world champion. Peter Sagan, the Slovak, finishing well up there. Borut Bozic too, doing quite well. Romain Fayeux, photo finish for everybody else. Cavendish and Goss, bike lengths ahead of everybody else. Oh, it's close. I think Greipel. Oh, maybe not. Cancellara and Greipel both going for that one. Fayeux in the middle there. Jürgen Roeland's finishing well. Bozic, Berdwald, Bosenhagen finishing up there. Oscar Freire, Tyler Farah, Denis Galimzinov, Peter Sagan. It was a sprint and a half, Sean, that one.
It was an exciting one, and they race so hard, you know, from a long way out. I think a lot of people were tired in the end, and we could see that they were struggling in the final 2 kilometres to keep the pace real high, and so much movement there. You know, there was riders pushing for position, coming over, and riders getting boxed out, but you know, what a spectacular finish. And the way Cavendish, we could see there in the overhead shot, that's where you get the real picture. His position was perfect, and he just can smell that moment when he needs to go. We see him when he took up the sprint, looked across to his left at Gus, and just went for it. And but it was, you know, the perfect time to take up the sprint.
That's a real photo finish.
Hope they've got 2 bronze medal.
Yeah, maybe 2. Yeah. Lars Bohm holding his line right in the middle there. Jürgen Roelandts getting onto the wheel of Mark Cavendish. Cavendish driving for the line. Goss having to come past Peter Sagan just a little, but even so, I don't think he was going to get past Cavendish at that point. Big track hurl by Andre Greipel and Fabian Cancellara. A win for Mark Cavendish. The last time that Great Britain had a senior gold medal and World Championship jersey was on the shoulders of Tom Simpson back in 1965. It's been enough. Oh, it's been a long time waiting. If ever there was a course made for a sprinter like Cavendish, it was the one today. Well, I hope that the Crown Prince enjoyed the race. That was the most spectacular last 2 laps you could possibly imagine. What a job done by Team GB, and what, I mean, everybody in it, but Bradley Wiggins' turn over basically a whole lap. Unbelievable. Here we are.
6 years ago in Spain.
San Sebastian, it was the last time a British rider won Tom Simpson.
And now it's your day.
There couldn't be another result after the way the guys rode today. We had 8 guys, 8 of the best guys in the world, and it's the first time we've come together, and it's incredible. They took the race on from start to finish, and we won. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
So did you feel from the start this morning in Copenhagen it could be the best chance for you to become world champion?
We knew 3 years ago when this course was announced, we put a plan together to come with the best group of guys to this race and come away and bring the rainbow jersey back to Britain. It's been 3 years in the making. The guys have worked so hard to collect points throughout the season to get 8 riders here, and then you just saw they rode incredible. I'm so proud.
And what are you thinking if I'm saying now London 2012?
We haven't got 8 guys there, we've only got 5 obviously, but it's a big goal for us. It's the biggest goal next year, and hopefully we can make the double with this year and then the Olympics next year.
Cycling is now a very popular sport in the UK, also thanks to you.
Yeah, thanks to me and thanks to the other 7 guys here and the other guys who worked hard all season to get points and worked hard towards getting this rainbow jersey. You know, we've got a lot of Pro Tour riders now. We've got a lot of people riding the bikes, and that's incredible to see.
Thank you, Mark Cavendish, World Champion 2011 in Rudersdal, Copenhagen.
Fantastic stuff. Well, I'm just resting my voice for a little bit. Mark Cavendish, our very own world champion. Now, I wonder if I thought I'd be saying that when I first started commentating with Sean back in the early 2000s. Probably not. That was a magnificent race. It really was. All the way through, the emphasis was on Team GB to control the race. Germany, to be fair, did a lot of work in the first half of the race, but they seemed to fall a little by the wayside. We're not helped by the fact that 2 of their key men for lead-out were isolated by the crash about 2/3 of the way through the race. Or more like 3/4 actually. Cavendish wins. Greipel is given the bronze medal ahead of Fabian Cancellara. That must have been a tight one to call. Jürgen Roelandts in 5th, then Romain Feliu, Borut Bozic and Edvald Bosenhagen.